some more.
Yo, what's good, people? Izzy Max here, back again with another tier list video. As you can see, this one's a little bit different. You see other YouTubers and PokeTubers doing a tier list on the VGC meta, but sometimes there's a little biasy going into their videos. So with this, I went to PKlytics. It's a website that you can go to and find different stats, most used moves on mons, but they do have the usage stats for both Showdown, as you can see on your left, and in-game that you can see on your right. So this is going to be the definitive VGC Series 5 tier list. No biases, no nothing, just pure data. So let's go ahead and go through here. The red one you see at the top is going to be top 10 for both. Here's the percentage on Showdown used. And the only big difference, as you can see here, is Amoonguss does drop down to near the top of the second tier here in-game. But in-game, you'll see Hatterene way up here at number 9, but kind of drops to the lower end on Showdown. What you can see kind of not change really at all is going to be Rillaboom, Togekiss, Cinderace, and Incineroar. These are kind of your top 4, top 5 on both sides, kind of with an Indeedee sprinkled in here, but on Showdown it's going to be towards the latter end. These are going to be the mons you're going to see the most. These are usually what people build their team around and or are just really important to their overall strategy. Moving next into tier 2, there's not too much difference here other than, let's see here, Primarina is still towards the end, Marowak towards the front, Indeedee male. Okay, you will see less Dracovish in game. It does drop down into the third string, the 31 to 60, as it is up here pretty highly used in on Showdown. Lapras. The Urshifus are still on here. The water one is better than the dark one, according to the numbers. Okay, we got Excadrill. Arcanine is going to show up more on Showdown. It is kind of down here in the 31 to 60 as well. Hatterene we already went over. Okay, Venusaur. Where is... Okay, there's Kingdra, Torkoal, Porygon Z's up there. Corviknight is another weird one. On Showdown, you're going to see a good bit of it. It is towards the 6.68% on Showdown, but down here, it's close to being 60th rank in-game. So I don't know how much you're actually going to see of Corviknight. And then we have Gyarados, which is still up here quite a ways. I did make a mistake. Tracheon should be down here. Tracheon is ranked 31st, I do believe. But, so yeah, not too much of a change here. These are going to be your secondary mons, support mons, weather setters, whether taking advantage or setting. Yeah, these are just kind of your secondary sweepers, or just like fluff mons. Like they could sweep, they could set up, they could do whatever they need. But not your main core. These are also splashable, like super splashable, which is why they do pop up in high rankings. Next up, of course, we do have the Tracheon. Okay, Rotom Wash, still relatively high. If they're in the same tier, I'm not going to talk about them too terribly much. We do have Milotic, Clefairy, Magnezone, Alakazam, relatively in the same spot. Same with Azumarill. Okay, Miikyu. Over here we do see Galarian Slowbro a lot higher than over here. This is around the 1.78 range, and he is closer to like 36 over here, so that is kind of a big jump. Then we got Sylveon, Rotom Wash, Dragalge. Dragalge's way down here, closer to the 1.0 range, but is up here close to like 40, 42. I think that... Oh, here's another one, Cobalion. In kind of the probably upper 40s. But down here, Cobalion is right here, close to the 1.78. So you're going to see more of that in-game than you are on Showdown. Snorlax, Scizor, Magnezone. Already went over that one. Grimmsnarl. Comfey. That's another big one. Comfey is kind of on the rise in-game. I don't really know about in Showdown, but Comfey is down here in Showdown, but up here in-game. I do see this mon climbing in popularity pretty quickly. Let's see what's next. Bisharp, Rhyperior. There's the Corviknight. Inteleon, not too big of a difference. Crocodile. Sableye. Sableye, I'm not going to say that's too big of a difference, because he is towards the bottom end, and if you can see here, the bottom end is going to be about 1.79, so it's not a huge deal, as the top here is 1.79. And the top here is 1.78, and the bottom here is 1.79, and it's towards the bottom here, and then kind of just in the middle here, so it's not too big of a difference. Hitmontop, Goodra, we already talked about, and then Braviary. Where's Braviary? Braviary is relatively high. Okay, these are going to be your third string kind of mons that will slide into your team with, like if you're missing a fire type. For some reason you're not using Incineroar or Cinderace or any of these, you can slide in an Arcanine, or you can slide in a Volcarona. These are kind of your icing mons. These are what you need to finish your cake, but not necessarily always going to do something on your team. Next up, we're kind of getting into the mons that are kind of techable. You are going to see the G-Max Venusaur. This is Riolu. I didn't have a Riolu sprite in the tier ranking website, so this is what I'm using instead. But these are going to be the mons that are specifically doing something on your team, or you use them to build around a certain strategy, but they're not, the strategy's not like super good, it's just like a niche thing. First off, we do have Colossal. Pincurchin is a surprising one I seen at the top on both lists. It's not too far down. Same with Riolu. Riolu's picking up steam because of Prankster coaching. Not really sure what all it does, but next up you're going to see Araquanid. Araquanid's not on the in-game list at all. I'm not going to go any lower than this because it's just the rest of the Pokemon. But Araquanid's not on the in-game list at all. It is below the 110. Gigalith is here. Raichu. Weezing. There's the Dragalge. Reuniclus. Okay. Drifblim. Blastoise is towards the upper end of that. Goodra's down here as it is up at the top of the VGC list. See Ludicolo. I see it there. Serena as well. Mienfoo, I haven't really seen any when I've been playing, but evidently it's decently used. Lurantis is interesting because I haven't really seen a Lurantis much at all. One thing I do want to point out, on the in-game list, you're going to see a lot more Rotom Heats. As you see, none of the other Rotoms other than Rotom Wash is on this list. But then on Showdown, you're going to see some Rotom Mows, but not any of the other ones other than Rotom Wash, which I thought was kind of interesting looking at this list. In-game, you're going to see a lot more Meowstics, which is kind of cool. If I'm not mistaken, you're going to see Toxtricity in-game, but not so much on Showdown. I'm not going to go over all these, but these are more of the, like I said, just either you're using them to build around for a strategy, or they're just kind of placeholders, just something you need, filling in a typing, fixing a speed tier, Trick Room setter like Bronzong, maybe Gardevoir. In terms of some of these weird ones you're going to see, like the Acelgor, Palossand usually are always together. It is its most popular teammate. They do have a strategy together with the Water Shuriken, so you're probably never going to see these apart. Other than in-game for some reason, Acelgor was one of the first ones in the 111 tier, which I don't have a picture of, so I'm not going to show. Weavile, you're going to see more in-game, and I think that's just because it's fast and it can do like Surf for the Colossal and stuff like that. On Showdown, you're going to see some Maractus. You're not going to really... When I was doing the tier listing in the VGC, it didn't even fall in the top 150, which is where the ratings cut off on Peakalytics. So no Maractus in-game, sorry about that. Alolan Sandslash is getting some usage. Also, you are only going to see one Hail Setter here, but in-game, they are both relatively close in usage. In-game, Zoroark is starting to show up a little bit more, which is kind of interesting. I didn't expect Zoroark to actually be doing anything, so they probably fixed the way it worked, because in the recent game, if you were Zoroark, you know how it shows super effective when you click a move? It would show super effective on moves that were super effective against Zoroark, and not whatever Zoroark was illusioning, so it was kind of broken. Kind of made Zoroark unplayable. It basically didn't have an ability if you were smart about it. Next, Tauros, in-game, you're going to see a little bit. This is an Intimidator. I don't see why you wouldn't, but on Showdown, I don't even think it was like in the 1%, 0.01% usage. And like I said, we're getting pretty low. Like Alcremie here is 0.28% on Showdown, which pretty much means you're probably going to see one every 20 games, if that. So these are just very rare. But yeah, so this is the actual definitive, no bias, no nothing, just raw data tier list for the VGC 2020 season, mostly just Series 5. When Series 6 comes out, I will be probably doing another one, as I enjoyed looking at the numbers. I'm a very analytical guy. So if you enjoyed this, leave a like. I'm almost at 100 subs, and hope this helps you build a team. Like I said, you can pick what you want. This shows with the top tier things being very splashable, and then kind of like what you can use and what's popular in the meta. So without further ado, I will see you in the next one. Peace.